I'd like to call this meeting of the Municipal Council to order at 7 o'clock. Please rise and join me for a salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are now operating under suspended rules. Before we get into a couple special presentations, I do want to take a second to thank the Attleboro Police Department, Attleboro Fire Department, the DPW, all the laborers who were out late, long hours yesterday, cleaning up after the storm, prepping for the storm, taking care of the city during the storm. So certainly thank you all for your hard work. Grateful City says thank you. I would now ask for Councilor Bennett, Councilor Blair, and Vice President Kobus to join me at the podium, please. So this is the last meeting of the term, and as such, we have 3 councilors who will not be returning next term, and that's Councilor Bennett. Congratulations on all the great things you have going on personally. You're certainly going to be missed. As a Ward 2 resident, thank you for everything that you've done. Councilor Richard Conti, who's unfortunately not able to be here tonight, and this guy who's brand new. He's only served once or twice, 4, 6, 8, 24 years.
You're going to bust me. Mine wasn't interrupted.
Fair. Fair. So we just want to thank you for your service. You will be getting these on a plaque, but we also wanted to just give a resolution. So Attleboro Municipal Council resolution of appreciation for Kelly Bennett. Whereas Kelly Bennett first served the City of Attleboro as a member of the Municipal Building Commission in August of 2020 through February of 2022. She was elected to the Municipal Council as Ward 2 Councilor in November 21 and was elected in office until December 2023. Whereas Kelly served as Chair of the Traffic and Transportation Committee, a member of the Traffic Study Commission, Vice Chair of the Ordinances, Elections, and Legislative Matters Committee, and is a member for both Special Committee on Senior Tax Abatement and the Public Safety Committee. And whereas Kelly utilized her experience as a military attorney, civilian attorney for federal government, in her time with contract compliance to aid the city through both NBC and the council. And whereas Kelly's been a valuable addition to the council, and her energy and inquisitive nature will be missed. Now therefore be it resolved that the Municipal Council of the City of Attleboro wishes to extend its deepest appreciation for all Councilor Bennett's hard work, diligence, and concern, and wishes Kelly good health and happiness in all of her new endeavors.
Thank you.
Sure.
Kelly, it's been an absolute pleasure. I come every week to look across the horseshoe. You've been great.
Oh.
You've been a great addition. And I'm glad you took my advice.
Well, I'm glad that I had an opportunity to serve with you. Thank you so much for everything. Appreciate it.
And this one's yours.
Do you want me to read that?
So, as you can see, Peter and I have gone back a long time. Looked to this guy for guidance as a mentor. People like, it's Peter Blair. I think someone referred to it as Peter's Rules of Order once. So,
Yeah, lucky Conti's not here tonight.
But, so Peter, whereas Peter Blair was an automotive instructor at Attleboro High School from September 74 to June 1978, before becoming an at-large councilor, serving for consecutive terms from January 2004 to December 2023, including 4 years as vice chair. And whereas Peter's commitment as an effective leader was displayed chairing the Public Safety and Emergency Management Committee and the Public Works Committee, while significantly contributing to the Transportation, Zoning, Personnel, License, and City Property Committees. And whereas Peter has been an advocate for public safety, supporting the police and firefighters, champion for his east side of Attleboro, and a passionate voice for the senior community. And whereas Peter's empathetic, relentless, unwavering support for his city and the safety and well-being of others will leave an enduring impact on the community he so dearly loves. Now therefore be it resolved that the Municipal Council of the City of Attleboro extends its deepest appreciation for all Peter's hard work, heartfelt enthusiasm, and caring, and wishes Peter much health and happiness in all his new endeavors. Before I give you this, I'd like to say thank you. That'll never do. Appreciate all you've done. You've been a mentor. You'll be missed.
My health has been better the last couple of years. I might have tried to stick around.
Well, we would have loved it. So,
Don't threaten us with a good time. I said, don't threaten us with a good time.
so I'm sure your colleagues would love to give a hug and a handshake. So why don't you just make your way around the council?
Peter's tie.
Let me just say this, you have taught me a hell of a lot. And you don't believe it, you won't believe it, but you have. It's been such a pleasure. Such a short pleasure.
Great, Sarah. Thank you. Do well.
Awesome. I
You can carry on. And I know you won't be afraid to open your mouth. Thanks, Val.
It's been too short, but
It has.
yeah, but it's been awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'll still see you at the Derek there, so.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Dennis, for being here. Leo, wouldn't have been the same without you. Thank you very much. Pay attention. Don't get hooked up. If you got need any questions about past characters, give me a call.
Coming from a past character. I would now entertain a motion to enter into committee of the whole.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are now entered into committee of the whole. If anyone would like to address the city council, now is your opportunity. A young man from Norton.
Mr. President, honorable body, I'd just like to stand before this council and say to Councilor Peter Blair, thank you. Thank you for your service to this wonderful city. And as the chief of police, I've certainly learned from you. We've been through a lot. I've known you literally since the day I was born. Fixing my bicycles along the way, pulling into the service station on Pine Street. Then subsequent years later, my vehicle and cars, and not telling my father the car broke down and me sending him the bill and him having a discussion with me. But you always said, hey kid, don't worry, I'll take care of you. So it's been many years, many memories. You've certainly been a champion for the police department. You always stood in our corner. You were always there for us. And I'm certainly going to miss you. But more importantly, I'm going to miss my friend on the council. And
Your dad was a great guy.
I appreciate that. Those very kind words.
We
but-
went to school together, and maybe a few other things. He was a great guy. He always stuck up for his men, like you do, and I can't say enough about him.
Thank
He pulled
you.
me out of the fire a couple times.
Thank you, Peter. And, you know, you're a great counselor, but you're even a better citizen of the city. And I know you love the city very much so, and he gave 24 years to the council. So, I greatly appreciate it. And
Thank
I'm
you.
certainly going to miss you, but I'll leave you at this. Don't be sad because it's over. Be happy because it happened. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address the council?
I just wanted to come up tonight. My name's Leo Johnson. I live at 45 Phillip Street. I wanted to come up tonight to thank Peter for his service to the city of Attleboro. You've done it for over 20 years, and you've done it with honesty, integrity, and without a doubt, with distinction. And does anybody know what a goat is? And I don't mean an old goat. I mean, a GOAT,
I'm glad you reclaimed that.
the greatest of all time GOAT. Brady, Bird, or Ali, Ortiz, and Peter Blair.
I don't fit in that category.
You've done it better than most.
Thank you.
And, you know, we all live in the moment that we're in. And with all those great athletes and great people that have served their communities and everything else, you live in that moment and you don't realize that all that time is going by, and then tonight, you come across a night like tonight. You know, they all retire, and eventually all the greats retire, and tonight's your night. And I know that you're not going to go away, but you won't be here anymore. But you've done a great job. You've been criticized and kind of lambasted sometimes, and
still have a couple
but I
hours to do
think,
that.
well, you know, if you're not being criticized, you're not doing your job. And those of us who know Peter, and I know Peter, I don't think I've ever met a kinder, sweeter, more compassionate, generous person in my life. And you've represented, you've supported the Recreation Department all these years. You've always been there for us. And, you know, you go back to when the pool needed to be built over on the east side, and that was back in 2002. And there were funding issues, and the money wasn't there, and so Peter mobilized his forces, and he got the job done. He got people in there to demo the pool, and the pool opened in 2004. And if not for Peter, it would have still opened. It might have been 2007, 2008. And the residents and the kids of the east side have never had a better friend than Peter Blair. And that pool on the east side is just not another pool. It's a destination for those people during the summertime. It's an attraction. Most of the neighborhoods over there are, it's a very diverse neighborhood, we all know. A lot of minorities, and a lot of kids spend their whole summer in that neighborhood. They don't get to get out of that neighborhood. And it's the same as it was 20 years ago as it is today. And that's where they spend their summers. So you did them a great favor by getting that pool built and in 2004 having it open, because it might have been a couple of years. And then, of course, we have the cookout every year over at the east side. We call it the Briggs Pool Family Fun Day, hosted by City Councilor Peter Blair. And we've been doing it for 20 years, ever since that pool opened. We get hundreds of people every year to come over and for some, cookout and music and free swimming, thanks to the Recreation Department. So, Peter, look, you've done a great job. You've provided a great service to the residents of Attleboro. And you're going to be missed, but you certainly won't be forgotten. And I personally want to thank you for your friendship. It's been a great ride, Peter, so thank you very much. Oops, sorry.
Sure has. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Leo. Would anyone else wish to address the council?
My name is Scott Mercier, One Fieldstone Lane. I've known Peter for over 30 years now. One thing that he did behind the scenes that most of you may not know, Peter's been a huge advocate for the veterans of the city. That's where he and I really got together. Back when the veterans van was purchased, together, himself, myself, with the Elks, we raised $40,000 in 8 weeks. Peter put his feelers out. We got together. We did fundraisers, and ever since then, he's always been a veterans advocate and a backer of anything that they needed. I want to thank him for everything he's done as a counselor. He's been a counselor almost half my life. When you think of it, that's a long time, and that's a lot to do, a lot of time to serve the city. He has been a public servant, not a politician, and there's a huge difference. A public servant cares about the people that they serve. And I hope, for all the new councils coming in, they realize that it's not a game to play. It's people's lives, it's people's livelihoods, and the community they live in. So, Peter, with that, I just want to say thank you. You've been a mentor to me coming up through the Elks and doing fundraisers and whatnot. I couldn't let this night go by without coming to say thank you publicly.
No more of that. Can I take the mic for a minute?
No.
Well, let's find out.
No?
Do we have anyone else who would wish to address the council? Floor is yours, Councilor. We're operating under suspended rules.
Thank you, everybody that's here tonight. A lot of kind words. I don't know if they're all deserved, but I'll take them. Take what you can get. But I'd like to publicly thank my wife and my family for allowing me to serve the great people of Attleboro. And I truly mean it when I say great. I'm truly not a politician, although I've been called worse. But I do consider myself a public servant. And when I first come on a council, I was mentored by a lady by the name of Carolyn Tadino. She sat here for 20 years. Kate and I were with her. And she told me, or taught me, what a councilman should be. And I hope I did her somewhat proud over 24 years. That you're not a politician, you're a public servant. And in closing, I would like to coin one of her phrases. Thank you very much. Yours in public service, Peter Blake.
Nice job, buddy.
Thank you, everyone. I would now entertain a motion to arise from Committee of the Whole.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have now arisen from Committee of the Whole. We will now go into a reading of the Mayor's communication.
December 19th, 2023. Dear Municipal Councilors, I am very pleased to inform you that the City of Attleboro was recently awarded a Community Compact IT grant in the amount of $150,000. Community Compact IT grants are intended to make government more efficient, save taxpayer money, and make it easier for residents to interact with local government. This grant will assist us in digitizing documents and records in the Planning and Community Development Department, including records from the Zoning Board of Appeals, the Planning Board, and the Conservation Committee. Digitizing these records will make them more accessible by the public and save staff time and office space. Thus, in accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body approve expending of such funds and any future grant amendments supporting documentation provided.
IT and infrastructure, please.
As the workplace has evolved, the responsibilities and duties of our personnel department have also changed such that the term personnel department has become outdated and no longer reflects the day-to-day functions of the office. The term human resources is a more common and appropriate term used for the department that organizes staff safety trainings, engages with union representation, administers healthcare, insurance, and benefit programs, supports employee assistance programs, and deploys resources to attract, retain, and develop a cadre of talented city employees. Accordingly, I respectfully request that Chapter 13 of the revised ordinances be amended as follows. 1. Changing the title of Chapter 13 from Personnel to Human Resources, including the table of contents and index. 2, deleting the phrase Personnel Department in every instant and replacing it with Department of Human Resources. 3, deleting the phrase Personnel Director and/or Personnel Consultant in every instance and replacing it with Director of Human Resources. 4, deleting the phrase Personnel Board in every instance and replacing it with Human Resources Board. For your review and consideration, these proposed changes are reflected in the attached draft version of an amended Chapter 13.
Personnel, Veterans, Human Service Committee, please. And Councilor Angelo, would you like to call for a public hearing on January 16th?
Yes, sir.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
I respectfully submit a communication from Veterans Agent Ben Quell regarding the donation of gift cards totaling $60 from veteran Frank McKenzie. In accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to accept these generous donations to the City of Attleboro, supporting documents provided.
City Property and Claims, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Council on Aging regarding the donation of gift cards totaling $800 from Holiday Spirit Committee. In accordance with Section 1-12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to accept these generous donations to the City of Attleboro, supporting documents provided.
City Property and Claims, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from City Treasurer Laura Gignac regarding the need for funds to pay legal services for assistance with collecting outstanding tax title balances. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $45,000 from account 1124100-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1145100-530895 Treasurer Legal Services, supporting documents provided.
Finance Committee, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Water Courtney Allen regarding the need for funds for trench repair. When the Water Department's fiscal year 2024 budget was prepared, the cost for trench paving was estimated using an average number of trenches as well as the cost per ton from the paving contractor at that time. The trench paving rebid resulted in a higher cost per ton of material for this fiscal year. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $40,000 from account 6100-35900 Water Enterprise Fund retained earnings to account 6100-538053 Water Enterprise Fund trench repairs, supporting documents provided.
Public Works, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Superintendent of Water Courtney Allen regarding the need to replenish funds to Lights and Power due to internal transfers made for other projects. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body appropriate $69,492 from account 6100-35900 Water Enterprise Fund retained earnings to account 6100-521020 Water Enterprise Fund Lights and Power to replenish these funds, supporting documents provided.
Public Works, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Planning and Development Gary Arasian regarding the award of a Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness, which is MVP grant, in the amount of $101,250 from the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Emergency Affairs, EOEEA. The first phase of the project entails conducting a feasibility study to determine where to implement GSI with the right-of-way multiple streets. The local match consists of in-kind services in the amount of $2,350 that will be provided by the Director of Planning and Development and the Environmental Planner, as well as a requisite cash match in the amount of $33,750. In accordance with Chapter 1, Section 12 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, I hereby request your honorable body to approve expending such funds in any future grant amendments. Additionally, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $33,750 from account 1124100-578380 Citywide Reserve for Capital to account 1124100-599200 Citywide Transfer to Grant, and to further transfer $33,750 to account 2353N4499700 MVP Green Stormwater Feasibility Municipal Distribution, supporting documents provided.
Zoning and Land Use, please.
I respectfully submit a communication from Director of Recreation Dennis Walsh regarding the need to replenish funds to Lights and Power due to an internal transfer made to repair the sewer line at the Bartek Recreation Center. Therefore, I hereby request your honorable body transfer $7,500 from account 1124100-5783000 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1630100-5210020 Recreation Lights and Power, supporting documents provided.
Public Works, please.
Please join me in thanking Recreation Director Dennis Walsh for 18 years of hard work and dedicated service to the city and its residents. Dennis and his team invested thousands of hours improving and caring for the city's athletic fields and recreational facilities and programming a wide variety of year-round activities for kids, teens, and adults. Along the way, Dennis helped make many happy memories for all involved, and we wish him a very happy and relaxing retirement.
It's an FYI. Thank you, Dennis.
After much consideration and an extensive interview process, I respectfully submit for confirmation by your honorable body the appointment of John Wright to fill the 3-year term of Zoo Director, term to expire February 2027. Mr. Wright was offered the position with the City of Attleboro effective January 2nd, 2024, under a temporary 90-day appointment in accordance with Section 3.3B of the Attleboro Home Rule Charter. John has more than 25 years in animal care and zoo operations and management. He also brings strong fiscal management skills, along with fundraising, marketing, and event planning experience. Caper and Park Zoo has a long and rich history in the city, and John is the right person to lead the zoo into its best future. Resume provided.
Personnel, Veterans, Human Services, please.
Sincerely, Kathleen D. Simone, Mayor.
Thank you, and there is no clerk's communication this evening, so we'll go right into committee reports, beginning as always with Councilor Waterman.
Thank you. Beginning from the docket of December 19th, 2023, I would move to approve the Class 2 license renewal application from Daniel Martinez, DBA R&D Auto Sales, 116 Dickens Street, 5 customer parking spaces and 8 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
I think we said it last week. It's working out okay.
Great. Thank you. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And from the docket of December 19th, 2023, I would move to approve an automatic amusement license renewal application from the Portuguese American Club, 65 Prairie Ave, for 1 pool table and 1 jukebox.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
None needed.
We'll have a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
From the docket of December 19th, 2023, I would move to approve an automatic amusement license renewal application from CEC Entertainment, LLC DBA Chuck E. Cheese, 287 Washington Street, for 64 video game machines.
Second.
Thank you. Any comments?
Count it all, 64.
It's a lot of games.
Yes.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
On the docket of December 19th, 2023, I move to approve an automatic amusement license renewal application from South Attleboro Post 112, Inc., 437 Newport Ave, for 1 pool table, 1 jukebox machine.
Second. And 312.
312. Yep. Additional comments?
None needed here.
Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
On the docket of December 19th, 2023, I move to approve a Class 2 license renewal application from Mike Ziarko, DBA Mike's Automotive, 801 South Main Street, with 10 customer parking spaces and 15 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
Everything's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
On the docket of December 19th, 2023, I move to approve a Class 2 license renewal application from County Auto Sales and Service, Inc., 42 County Street, with 10 customer parking spaces and 28 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
None needed. No.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this also requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. And finally, from the docket of November 21st, 2023, I move to approve the Class 2 license renewal for State Line Auto Brokers, Inc., 1115 Washington Street, with 6 customer and 42 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
Yes, I've been passing by the business on the average of every 4 or 5 days. And there has not been a repeat of the parking problems that I saw the last time I reported. I have also met with Ed Casey, the attorney for this, for State Line. I would have to say that he and I are in total agreement that they need to stay within the rules for parking that they're supposed to. And he told me today that he is going to let them know what those rules are one more time.
Good. Additional questions or comments? Councilor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delesio. I'm certainly not one to want to take away a business of someone, and is there any repercussion, or is this something that we can visit in 3 months, 6 months, that make sure that this is happening? And that would just kind of be my question, I guess.
Yeah, so thank you for those comments, because I share the same sentiment. I think, from my perspective, Chair Waterman and I have discussed this. This has to be the last opportunity, in my eyes. I think the next time we receive any kind of a complaint, I think we start the appropriate process. I think that's appropriate here. As Mr. Waterman said, he spent a lot of time there.
Yes.
We're familiar with this particular business, not for the reasons we want to be familiar. My lean is, we give them this last chance and we keep a close eye. And yeah, it could be 3 months, could be whenever we get a complaint, whenever we, whoever the chair of licenses next term, if we see they're not complying, we start the appropriate processes. Vice President Corbis.
Two things. Can I suggest we do a roll call
I
vote?
was going to do that, yeah.
And the second thing, if possible, I'd love to hear what what Councilor Reynolds has to say about this, if she has an opinion.
Okay. So I'm in line with President Delesio for 2 reasons. One, because Attorney Casey is on the watch, and I feel comfortable that he is aware that now we're not clowning around and that we're going to give this gentleman one more time. He also has insisted that no one told him this, which I know is incorrect, so I'm going to ignore that. But moving forward, I think everybody that I've spoken to in South Attleboro is on the watch for it too. So if anything were to happen, I'll get a phone call. I'll call Councilor Waterman, who can then call the attorney, and then we just bring it right back up and shut him down. That's it. The first, we have nowhere that we have literally written him up, and that was our mistake. So I say going forward, we start doing that at every infraction. That's how I feel. Thank you so much.
Councilor Blair.
Is there any way, Mr. President, that this can be a condition of his license?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know that we can at this point, because that would entail amending the license application.
I leave it up to the councilors who are going to be here next year. I think this gentleman has been given more than enough opportunity to fall in line and do the job right. So I know if I was here next year and something was brought up, it would not hinder me one bit to revoke that license. And I hope the councilors sitting here next year will follow my lead and my sentiments and do exactly that if it's an infraction is brought up.
Thank you. Yep, Councilor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delacio. Just a comment, I do have, and I completely agree with Councilor Blair and everything that we discussed. I do have family in South Attleboro, so I will be checking on this on a regular basis. Obviously, Councilor Reynolds will be, and Councilor Tavares that lives down there, and I'm sure Councilor Waterman will be down there too, and I think that'll be a decent amount of eyes that'll be paying attention, and hopefully they'll learn their ways.
I just want to warn this body, we're not the enforcing agency on this, so, you know, I think our message has been pretty crystal clear. People will let us know. People will let us know, but I think this is the appropriate approach at this time, and as things arise, you know, we'll address them as they come up. Vice President Kovas.
And I'm comfortable deferring to the ward counselor here, but I very much agree with Councilor Blair that if this comes up again next year, I'm a definite no vote next year, and I like the idea very much of if whoever the license committee is sees something, we have to document it and then make sure we bring it up. Whoever is the license committee chair next year, we have to do we have to do well in documenting things and be able to talk about instances like this so that we can, when we vote, be able to talk about these things and be able to know what's going on and be able to reference, hey, last year we said if this comes up again, we're a no vote.
Thank you. Councilor Reynolds.
So just quickly, a summary, the enforcement thing is the issue. We are not the enforcement people, but we need to contact enforcement immediately the next time and follow through. So,
Correct.
And that's how I want to proceed with that. Thank you.
No, well said. We'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Vice President Kobus?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delacio?
Yes.
9 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
That concludes the business of the License Committee. Meet at the next appropriate time next year.
Thank you, Councilor Waterman. Councilor Dolan.
Thank you. Reporting for Public Works Committee from the docket of November 21st, 2023, I move to approve the following loan order. Ordered that $500,000 is appropriate for the labor, materials, and equipment necessary for the rehabilitation of existing sewers, including but not limited to the following: preparatory cleaning of existing sewers, CCTV inspection, installation of cured-in-place piping, 30-inch sewers, and all miscellaneous work and cleanup as specified or required to complete the work off Tiffany Street, collectively the project, including the payment of all costs incidental and related thereto, that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $500,000 under Section 8.5 of Chapter 44 of the general laws, or any other enabling authority, that the mayor is authorized to take any other action necessary or convenient to carry out this project.
Second.
Thank you, motions, are there any comments?
We discussed it at length in committee. I did forward, hopefully everybody saw the email from Laura Gignac that I forwarded. I didn't receive any questions, so hopefully everything I said in committee should suffice, and I hope everybody supports this. Thanks.
Councilor Blair.
Thanks, Laura, for following up on my concerns. But I would like to leave with my concerns being heard again. Bonding for a $500,000 project, to me, is not good business. Laura does a great job. Up in the treasurer's office, believe me, you know, I think the world of her. So I don't want anybody to think I'm frowning on her in any way whatsoever. But you can't keep bonding stuff when you got money available. I asked if it was possible. It is possible. Even your email There is a possibility, takes a little bit of work. But if my memory serves me correct, Mayor Dumas did it a couple times where a project needed to be done, borrowed money from the city, and it was paid back. So it is possible. I can't see spending interest if you don't have to, and that's what you're doing, you're spending interest. If this gets bundled together with something and you get a 10-year bond, then you're bonding it for 10 years. So I think it's very, very important when something comes down and it's a bond issue, do we have somebody at that podium explaining why? Because I know I don't believe in it. I don't believe in borrowing if you don't have to. I think it's a bad practice. That's about it, you know how I feel. Thanks, Laura, for at least looking into it for me.
Additional questions or comments? One thing that I will say, if I may, and you alluded to this, I think Laura does,
Excellent job.
Laura Gignac does a fantastic job. These projects are important projects that need to get done. And we're not bonding just one at a time. And as you alluded to, Council, they do tend to bundle them together. That's going to get the better rate. I think in this situation with a lot of the fiscal concerns that we have coming down the line, I think this is one that does indeed make sense to be bundled. But I agree that it would have been nice if we had someone from the wastewater department here to talk about this. I do want to thank Tom Hayes for reaching out to me. I wasn't able to connect with him, but I do appreciate that. Any additional questions or comments on this? Seeing none, we'll have roll call vote beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
No.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes,
8 yeas, 1 nay.
thank you. Motion passes.
That's all the business for the Public Works Committee, and I look forward to a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Vice President Cobus, do you mind reporting for finance, please?
Sure. Reporting for the Finance Committee. From the docket of December 19th, 2023, I move to approve the transfer of $11,000 from account Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account City Council Salary and Wages full-time.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Reynolds. Motion is in order. Any comments?
And this is to cover the City Council raise for the second half of 2024.
Thank you.
Or fiscal year 2024.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote. Begin with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
No.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Blair.
No.
President Delicio.
Yes,
7 yeas, 2 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
That concludes the business for the Finance Committee. I call for committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Would you also like to call one for IT and infrastructure? while we have it?
And IT and infrastructure doesn't have any business, and we call for committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Bennett.
Good evening. Reporting for Transportation and Traffic Committee for this evening. 2 motions. From the docket of December 5th, 2023, I move to amend Section 10-4.11 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, isolated stop signs to add northbound drivers Norgate Road at Commonwealth Avenue.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
No, this was discussed in committee.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote. Begin with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair.
Yes.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Vice President Cobus.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delicio.
Yes,
9 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of October 3rd, 2023, I move to amend revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, Section 10-5.2A, prohibited on certain streets as follows. Delete Holman Street, southerly side, from Pleasant Street to Brook Street. Add Holman Street, southerly side, from Pleasant Street to Forest Street.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
No, this was also discussed in committee. Thank you.
You're welcome. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
9 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I do have one more motion. From the docket of February 21st, 2023, I move to strike the following. Refer the following for study and recommendation to Traffic Committee and Traffic Study Commission to evaluate current layout, safety signage, and conditions of crosswalks on Oak Hill Ave near Hyman Fine School.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
Yes, just briefly to recap from the committee meeting last week, I'm hoping that this intersection is looked at more closely as part of a larger study of crosswalks in the city of Attleboro. There are several that have similar issues, so I think it just makes sense for us to do this more comprehensively, but I also understand Councilor Dolan may be introducing some business to help address some of the safety concerns there more imminently, so it makes more sense to address that in the next term.
Great. Thank you. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. That concludes the business for Transportation and Traffic Committee for this evening, and the committee looks forward to a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, Councilor.
Zoning and land use doesn't have a business tonight. We call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Reynolds.
Thank you. Reporting for City Property and Claims Committee from the docket of December 19th, 2023. I move to accept the donation to the Health Department of $950 in gift cards from the Holiday Spirit Committee.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any questions or comments?
I have none.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes.
From the docket of December 19th, 2023, I move to accept $75 in gift cards donated to the Veterans Office from the Holiday Spirit Committee.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
I have none.
Seeing none, no one with their hand raised. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
That is all the business for City Property and Claims Committee this evening, but I would like to call a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Councilor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delicio. Reporting for Personnel, Veterans, and Human Services Committee. From the docket of December 19, 2023, I move to approve the appointment of Thomas Moran, 78 Lincoln Ave, to fill an expired term of the Attleboro Housing Authority, term to expire February 2029.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
We discussed this in committee, and we're very impressed with Mr. Moran.
Councilor Blair.
I'd like to second those comments. I've known the Moran family all my life, and it's great to see a Moran in a position like that, because they truly love Attleboro, the Moran family. So I can't see anything but good things with him serving on that committee.
Well said. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
For the docket of December 19, 2023, I move to approve the appointment of Tanya Oliveira, 623 Pleasant Street, to fill an unexpired term on the Cultural Council, term to expire February 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
We discussed this in committee, and I'll say this for the both ones. Tanya, I think, will be fantastic, and I think she'll have more than enough energy to handle the Council on Aging and the Cultural Council, and we're lucky to have her.
Thank you. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this also requires a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
From the docket of December 19, 2023, I move to approve the appointment of Tanya Oliveira, 623 Pleasant Street, to fill an unexpired term on the Council on Aging, term to expire February 2026.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
No, sir.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, this requires a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
From the docket of December 19, 2023, the City and Dispatchers Association were able to reach an agreement for an additional 2-year contract from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2025.
May I waive the reading where we read that in committee last week? The second was Vice President Cobus. Motion is in order. Any comments?
No, sir. We discussed this in committee, and I think we're lucky to get this taken care of.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
9 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
That's all for Personnel, Veterans, Human Services Committee. I call for meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. Counselor Tavares.
Thank you, President Delicio. Reporting for ordinances, elections, and legislative matters. From the docket of February 21st, 2023, I move to approve a senior citizen municipal parking fee waiver program created by amending Section 10-7.2 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro as follows.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
Just to reiterate what we discussed in committee last week, this is not necessarily an earth-shattering measure for our seniors, but I think it is something that will make it easier for them to access parking at the library parking lot and really create more flexibility and convenience for them to do so. And hopefully, it's a sign of goodwill towards doing bigger and better things for our seniors in the future.
Okay. Thank you. Additional questions or comments?
Yes.
Counselor Waterman.
I personally want to thank Councilor Tavares for that. What I know, you did a lot of hard work on this. And I totally agree with you that this will help the seniors and encourage more seniors to come down during the daytime. So thank you.
Thank you.
Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have Counselor Bennett.
Sorry, just
No
one.
worries.
I know that there was a lot of discussion around when the section would take effect. I noted here that it will not take effect until July 1st of 2024. And I understand that there were some concerns about budgetary potentially being a factor here, the budget and whatever revenues may be lost by providing these stickers, and maybe the city's inability to adjust to that. I just wanted to say that I think it would be pretty nominal, a very small amount, a negligible amount that perhaps the city could absorb. The city is lucky to be in a position where it could absorb such a small loss, so I would be an advocate of making it effective immediately. And I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that position and put it out there in case an amendment was appropriate.
Are you making an amendment, Counselor?
I would be happy to.
Second.
Okay.
Thank you.
The amendment is to make this motion take effect upon passage. Second was Counselor Dolan. Any questions or comments? Counselor Blair, Counselor Angela, and Vice President Cobus.
I think that's a great amendment, Kelly. You know, why put it off to July? You know, this isn't a big deal, and it certainly will help some of the seniors, and that's important.
Counselor Angelo.
Thank you, President Delicio. I think it's a great idea, and I love it. The only thing that I'm just concerned about is logistics. How do we handle that, getting passes right away? That's the only thing. I would love to do this, and hopefully if we could figure that out, I'd be more than happy to support this.
How do we figure what out? I'm sorry.
Figure out on handling the taking care of the free passes and stuff. We talked in the last meeting about there was something that we had to do or take care of passes to be done a certain way.
Yep.
If that can be handled, I'm thrilled to be able to do this immediately, and I think it's a great mention by Councilor Bennett.
Vice President Cobus, did you have your hand raised?
My comment was exactly the same as Councilor Angelo in that as much as I agree with the sentiment, I think logistically there'd be challenges there. So my suggestion would be to pass it, say March 1st or something along the lines to get stickers printed and stuff like that, just for the logistic portion of it would be my suggestion.
Okay. Councilor Blair.
I tend to agree with you, but I can't see putting it off to March. If you can't have stickers made up in a month, something's wrong. So why don't we do February 1st?
Whatever.
Councilor Waterman.
I totally agree with Councilor Blair on that point. The library has known for a long time that they've volunteered to put these stickers together, and I think that they can pull that off easily by February 1st.
6 weeks shouldn't be a problem.
Councilor Bennett.
Well, if Councilor Dolan would like to rescind the second, I'd be happy to amend the date to a February 1st start.
Rescind it.
Okay. So the new amendment would be take effect February 1st of 2024?
Second.
Okay. Additional comments? So we will take a roll call vote on the amendment. We'll begin with Councilor Waterman. And again, we're voting on just the amendment of Section 4 for this to take effect February 1st, 2024.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
9 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. The amendment passes. We are now back to the motion as amended. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote beginning with Councilor Blair.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
9 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you very much. That concludes the business of ordinances, elections, and legislative matters. I call for a committee meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Public Safety and Emergency Management has no business this evening. I'd like to make one final comment. I want to thank all the listeners that listen to us, all the people in Attleboro who have supported me over the past 12 terms. And it's with mixed emotion. I can't say with good faith call for a meeting because I don't know, I won't be here to do it. But thank you very much, and thank all the citizens of Attleboro for the faith they put in me over the last 12 terms. It's heartwarming to me, and I know I appreciate it. And I can't start to name people to thank because there's so many, and I would be amiss if I missed somebody. I'll try to talk to people personally over the next few months or whenever to thank those people personally for helping me in this position. Thank you, Jay, for putting up with me, having my back once in a while when it's needed. But it's me and it'll always be me, so
It was easy.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Everybody have a great holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council Blair.
Councilor Bennett, would you like to report for senior tax abatement?
Certainly. Reporting for the Special Committee on Senior Tax Abatement from the docket of December 5th, 2023. I move to approve, as allowed by Mass General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5K, to adopt the new Senior Tax Abatement Program rules.
I will waive the reading.
Second.
All right, motion is in order. Any comments?
I'll just briefly want to thank Councilor Conti in his absence this evening. I know how hard he's worked on this, and I think that this is going to be a great update to the program rules and make sure that we're keeping up with the times for this important program.
Thank you. Additional questions or comments on this? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote, beginning with Councilor Waterman.
Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
Mr. Blair?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
9 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, motion passes.
That concludes the business this evening for the Special Committee on Senior Tax Abatement, and the committee looks forward to a meeting at the next appropriate time.
Thank you. There is no old business. We have 2 pieces of new business for which I will recognize Councilor Bennett.
Thank you very much. President Delicio. First item of new business, to submit for study and recommendation the following: to amend to revise ordinances of the City of Attleboro, Section 10-5A, prohibited on certain streets, to prohibit parking on Ridgewood Road, westerly side from Locust Street to Bayberry Hill Road.
Second.
Thank you. Motion is in order. Any comments?
No, this came in, just briefly, this came in from a resident in the neighborhood. The neighborhood's been having some challenges with cars parking very close to the turn off from Locust Street. So it's creating some safety concerns in the neighborhood.
Okay. Would you like to send that to traffic study?
Yes, please, thank you.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Oh, please. You did say Ridgewood Road, right?
Yes, this is Ridgewood Road
I
off of
live
Locust
there.
Street.
I go around that circle constantly. I don't ever remember a car being parked somewhere on Ridgewood that would impede traffic. That street, Kelly, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses on it, maybe 6.
Yeah.
I travel it 3-4 times a day, and I can't believe that's before this committee.
It came in through from a resident to evaluate. I believe this was based on either a new owner to one of the homes now not using their driveway and parking sometimes several cars on the roadway during the day. And interestingly, if you Google map it, you can see some of the cars parked in some of the images, right where it was described.
So this is for new business for the study and recommendation. We
Yeah,
don't want
all right,
to
I
argue the
just,
merits, but I think your point, especially being a resident, is well taken. I don't want to get in a situation where
No,
we're arguing the
no,
merits of it
when it
this
comes
evening.
up, I'm more than happy to be here because,
His first meeting.
Yeah.
first of all, we don't have any new residents on this street. But second of all, I just don't see it happening.
Okay, so we'll send it to traffic,
Okay,
traffic
all
study.
right.
They'll take a look at it, then it'll come back.
Maybe nothing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of times that a piece of business like this will come in from a resident, it'll go to the Traffic Study Commission, it'll come back that there was no finding, but we want to make sure we're doing our diligence here, but I
That's
think,
why I asked if you had their street right.
yeah, no, I appreciate it, of course. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That'll go to Traffic and Transportation as well as the Traffic Study. Councilor Bennett.
Thank you. To submit for study and recommendation the following: study of safety of intersection of Slater Street at Pass Farm Road and Avalon Drive, and a need for signage, a crosswalk, or some type of signal to alert drivers on Slater approaching the intersection of pedestrians.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. Any comments?
This location currently serves as a school bus stop for several children, for several of the schools, so it's a multiple drop-off location. The car speeds, from what I'm hearing from residents in the area, the car speeds traveling from a hill in one direction and around a bend in the other direction have raised a safety concern for those children and other adults, parents who are waiting at the bus stop at that particular location.
Thank you. Additional, Mr. Angelo.
Thank you, President Delicio. I was there when this first came in, and was there with the families down there and paid attention to what had happened and gone. So I'm very happy that this is going to traffic study, and I appreciate it, Councilor Bennett, for getting this done. Thank you.
Thank you. Additional questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. We will send this to Traffic and Transportation as well as Traffic Study.
Thank you.
Before we adjourn, that is all the business we do have for tonight, but I do want to take a second and thank each of you for your focus, your commitment, your perseverance through a very challenging term, a term that we haven't seen in quite some time. I think we've gotten a lot of work done this term. I do want to take a second and thank our administrative assistant, Virginia Becker, for all of her hard work. As Linda Alger once said, your job is like wrangling cats. I think it's quite apropos. And of course, Madam Clerk, thank you for all your support, all your help throughout the course of the year. I was hoping Councilor Conti would be here, however, he wasn't, so I certainly want to take a minute and recognize the contributions to this fine city from Rick Conti over the last several decades, not just his, I believe, 14 years here on the council. So, Rick, I'm sure you're listening and watching. Thank you for all you do. Everyone out there, have a great, happy, safe Christmas and New Year's and holiday season, and we will see you next year. That being said, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are now adjourned.